Hello, welcome back to Outlook. I'm Jo Fidgen with another extraordinary human story. Every time Fereshteh Khousroujerdy captivates a crowd with her singing, and she does often, she performs all over the UK, it's a victory of sorts, because behind that remarkable voice is a story of resilience and hope against the odds. Fereshteh grew up in Iran, pre-Islamic revolution, but her parents were deeply religious, and Fereshteh knew that they were opposed to girls and women singing in public. But she could never resist and would sing wherever she went, entertaining people with her voice and intriguing them all the more because she's blind.
It was very strange for people when they saw a blind girl said, "Look, I have a beautiful voice. Do you want me to sing something for you?" And they said, "Yes." And they were impressed of my voice and this lovely voice. Oh, well done. They gave me a hug, and sometimes some of them give me a small coin as a present.
God, I bet you were thrilled. So the only people who didn't really appreciate your voice then were your parents when you were growing up?
Because it was about the culture, unfortunately. Imagine 50 years ago in a small city, a blind girl wanted to sing, and they thought the only prostituted women will sing to find a man, and the good women never sing.
What would they say to you when you did sing at home or elsewhere?
Oh, they treated me very bad. My father hit me by his belt. Sometimes my mom pulled my hair. They thought I am anti-religious, anti-social behavior.
Did it stop you from singing when you were little?
Always, but I never stop because they didn't understand. As a blind person, when you are not able to have a eye contact with people, so you need to use other ways to communicate with people, such as voice, such as poems.
So for you, music was more than, a luxury. It felt like a necessity by the sound of things.
Yes, it was everything for me, because people didn't love me, because I always say in the third world country there are two disasters for a baby. One is born a girl, and secondly born blind. And also they believe when the God give them the disabled child, it means you are a sinner, and this is kind of God's punishment.
Who's the sinner, you or your parents, in their view?
My parents.
They considered that by having a blind child, somehow that revealed them to be sinners.
Yes, and this is a kind of God's punishment. It was rubbish.
So how did that then affect how they saw you?
Mostly they didn't love me, and I never had toys. If one day you come into my place, when I got my freedom, I start to buy some soft toys, because in my childhood I never get chance to have a toys and to have something for myself. Someone just nicely brush my hair. It was phobia for a long time to have a long hair, because always I thought my mom would pull my hair.
Your parents, as you mentioned, were very religious. They were also very badly educated, very poorly educated. And do you have any forgiveness, I suppose, for the way that you were treated? Any understanding?
Nowadays, when I am thinking about the past, I forgive all of them, because it was part of the culture. There was a very poor culture about understanding the disability, the women.
So you feel that maybe it was the culture more than them as individuals that was problematic?
Yes, this is about the poor culture, I think.
There was another punishment that Fereshteh says she endured that had an unexpected impact. She says her mum would lock her outside and tell her that stray dogs were going to come and eat her.
So when I did something, you can imagine the person who is totally blind. And my mom sent me out as a part of punishment and then asked, Dog, come on and eat this dirty girl. And then shut the door. But I couldn't see what's around me. I was maybe 4 or 5 and I feel very scared. Oh, what would be happened? And I remember one time I was sitting and shaking because I thought, okay, the dog would come and bother me, bite me. And then I feel something, like a warm something, alarm my face and my hand. And said, oh no, this is a dog. It's going to eat me. And then I said, strange, if the dog wants to eat me, why it doesn't start? So I start to move my hand and touch the dog. And I touched, oh, there is something soft and nice. And so I feel very scary, but after a few minutes, okay, if it wanted to eat me, so it could do, but no. So I started to touch him and then give him a hug. When I say him, I don't know actually the dog was a boy or a girl. I say him.
But what did it do when you hugged it then?
Yeah, and then he did nothing and put his head in my shoulder, and then I touched him. I said, oh, nice. And then my mom watched that, and again, because they believe dogs are dirty and it's forbidden. Still, it's forbidden for religious people to touch the dog. So my mom treated me very bad and said, you touch something dirty like yourself. But few times, when my mom sent me out, again, the dog came to me, and after sometimes I really love to do something wrong. I love to go out and touch the dog because I thought, oh, this is my best friend. He never scared of me. He come to me. So I touched him and made my dream with the dog. We would look after each other. And then later on, my mom discovered, oh, I want to do something to go out. So she stopped sending me out. But it became my dream to have a dog.
So you identified strongly with that dog then?
Yeah.
How long after that was it, after meeting that dog, that you were sent away to boarding school, to a school for the blind?
It was, I think, 2 years after this happening. And then because I was born in small city and there wasn't any special school for blind people. So they sent me to the capital of Iran, Tehran, and there is a very big boarding school and it was very accessible and people were very educated.
And there you were allowed to sing, encouraged to sing.
Yes, and actually I get chance to sing as a choir.
When you were singing with the pupils, what kinds of songs would you sing?
I didn't mind really, but I mostly sing for myself in my heart, and I didn't mind if people listened to me or no, because I remember when I was walking or when I was doing my homework, I always tried to sing.
How would it make you feel to sing?
Oh, I feel very confident. You know, I am not alone and I have something to communicate with others. Someone can hear me and I can say a message through the different songs.
But then when you were a young teenager in 1979, the Islamic Revolution happened and your parents' attitude to girls singing became the common attitude. Girls shouldn't be singing in public. That was the general idea, wasn't it?
There was a big change in all society and it was forbidden for ladies to sing, to come out without scarf. We need to cover ourselves, our hairs.
So for a very long time, your dream of singing in public couldn't be made a reality until later in life you were offered an opportunity to come to the UK by an association here for blind people, and you came for training and while in the UK applied for asylum. And it was here in the UK that you were able to join a group for blind musicians specifically. And the idea was that you would together you would find a voice, I suppose.
Yes.
You've been singing with Inner Vision for how long now?
I think about maybe 9-10 years. When I came here, you could just close your eyes and imagine a blind person, totally blind person, doesn't speak English and somewhere completely different. And then on that time, I use a lot of strong medication for my mental problem. So you can imagine when someone talked to me, I started crying. I couldn't actually talk to people. And people thought I am not just a blind. I have a different disability until I found Inner Vision Orchestra, and really they helped me to feel strong, find my confidence, go to the stage and talk to people. I always abused by different people, you know. In my country, here when I came here, I had some tough situation. But when they hear my Fereshteh, you have a beautiful voice. Do you want to join our group?
Do you remember the first time that you sang in public with that orchestra?
Yeah, it was 10 years ago, and I thought, oh, my dream, it become to a real. I always think, am I still in dream or this is the fact?
Were you nervous that day?
No, I didn't feel nervous because I feel, look, Fereshteh, you don't live for yourself. You are people's voice. Because I never wanted to be a famous. I just wanted to be a people's voice and inspiration for other women.
Do you think that the 10 years you've spent with that orchestra and being able to do the thing you love, you know, sing in public, has that changed you in any way?
Yes. As I mentioned, I couldn't talk to people, even though the basic, very simple sentence. They said, Fereshteh, hello, how are you? Where are you from? And started crying. And I was very quiet. And people said, Fereshteh, why you are quiet? And sometimes people thought I'm not just blind, I am also deaf. So they came to me and started shouting on me, "How are you?" And it made me more sad and more uncomfortable. And I didn't know how to explain, I am just blind.
Now, these days, I think you wear a flower in your hair, don't you, as a sign of how happy you are on stage?
Yes, that's true.
The other development in the UK is that there has been another dog in your life.
Yeah, always. It became my dream. Bruce was my guide dog. We stayed together about 8.5 years, and now he is on his retirement process.
Give us a sense of what he's like as a dog.
Oh, it's a naughty boy. To me, he is a beautiful boy. I can't believe he is 10 years old now. To me, he is a baby.
You say he's gone into retirement?
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Do you still get to spend time with him?
Yeah, during that coronavirus, because I was on risk because of my diabetic and my breathing problems. So my friends looking after Bruce during that time. But they bring him every morning and take him in the afternoon.
Oh, so he spends every morning with you still?
Yes, my baby.
That's very nice. Do you sing to him?
A lot. He loves, because sometimes I also play a keyboard, a guitar, but he loves singing more than playing, because I think he's able to lay down in front of me and put his head in my leg and listen to the music, and then I can hear his snoring, and I love it. I really enjoy it. Thanks a lot.
Fereshteh Khousroujerdy of the Inner Vision Orchestra on the joys of listening to human voices and snoring dogs. Thanks for your company today. I'm Jo Fidgen. See you same time tomorrow.